All right, welcome back to Arc Salt Lake. We cover authentic, relevant, and community stories.
Well, frustrated with the job market? Fake job postings are on the rise.
And that makes it tough for job seekers looking for work. Blake Young with the State Division of Consumer Protection is here to help. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Of course, happy to be here.
Okay, so this is a problem then, fake job postings?
It is a huge problem, both in Utah and in the United States more broadly.
Okay, so how does a scammer get something out of posting a fake job?
Sure, there's a few ways it typically works. Sometimes they're just trying to get money out of you. They will come with a pitch of some type of an opportunity where you'll make a lot of money, and it's so easy and you can do it from home on your own schedule. They just need some money up front to help with the setup costs, which of course, that's the take. They're trying to get the money from you. A more recent one is actually about personal information identity theft. They will have a fake interview with you. You'll think it's this exciting new job opportunity, only to find out that they were just stealing your identity. And those new hire documents you filled out were just an identity theft kit for the scammer. So those are two of the main ones that we're seeing right now.
A lot of people are falling for it.
Lots. It's a big problem in Utah, yes. We unfortunately are ranked highly in this type of scam, so we'd encourage Utahns to be on the lookout for it.
Where are people seeing these fake job postings? Is it everywhere, like sites like Indeed, LinkedIn? Is it really everywhere?
It is everywhere. It can be on the larger corporate type sites, but also just on social media or word of mouth type things, or somewhat, I would say, untrustworthy websites that look legitimate on the surface, but once you do some digging, it turns out that they are not.
So why is Utah big on this kind of thing? Are we gullible? Are we just nice? Or are we dumb?
Well, there's a couple layers.
Okay.
I like to think part of it's because Utahns are hardworking. Everyone wants to work and wants to make their own way. But also our cost of living in the state has gone way up over the last few years, and everyone's trying to make ends meet. So a side hustle or some other type of thing to help supplement your main income or in retirement tends to be a pattern where we see these opportunities crop up.
So what are some clues for people? Because the scammers can come at you from different directions, use different methods. What are some common clues people can spot?
Well, we always say this, and it's hard to remember, but watch out for those red flags. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Okay. And frankly, people get excited because they're looking for a job. It's a bad situation in your life when you're looking for work and you really want something to work out. Your logic may not be there 100%. So step back and think, does this make sense? Is this a type of job that people could do to really make money at? Does it make sense that they're asking me to pay them to work for them? Because that's not how most jobs work.
Okay, so how can you report something that's fishy?
So we would always encourage someone to report it to the Division of Consumer Protection. Our website is dcp.utah.gov, or through the Federal Trade Commission for ones that might be out of the state.
For those out there who are a little worried after seeing this, is there any way to check the verification of a job posting in some way?
Yeah, this is a great question. I would say do your due diligence and find out if the company is real. And if it is, if you're not really sure, make sure that you can do some independent checking to see if they posted that posting. Usually you can get in contact with the company through some type of research you've done on your own, rather than a phone number or email address provided by the posting online.
Okay, so we've been talking about job scams, but the biggest scam has to do with contractors?
That's right. Contracting fraud is our number one right now in the Division of Consumer Protection. We routinely will see contractors take money for a job and then never finish it, or they will be running almost like a soft Ponzi scheme where they're using one person's deposit to pay for a prior job. And this has led to many, many hundreds and thousands of complaints, both with the Division of Consumer Protection and the Division of Professional Licensing that we work with.
Back to the fake job postings, when you are looking for a job, in many cases, people are desperate.
Yes.
Is that one factor in potentially falling for these? Can you explain how that works?
Absolutely. So there's been some interesting research on this, that one of the most common factors in who is victimized by a scam is what type of mental state you are in. If you're in a heightened state, whether that's positive, I just won the lottery, or negative, I need a job desperately and I can't find one, it tends to make your logical brain take a step back. And so you get out of the situation and people realize, I've made a mistake here. I should not have given them that money. I should not have given them that personal information. It's because they did it in a moment when they were feeling a heightened state. So we'd always encourage people that if you feel that, whether it's positive or negative, step back and ask yourself, does this make sense? Talk to a trusted loved one, talk to someone else, and run it by them and see if they think it sounds legitimate or not, as kind of a check on yourself to make sure that you're not being taken advantage of.
Okay, so what help is there? Let's say if you do get scammed, are you just out, or can you get some help from someone?
It depends somewhat on the circumstances. Yeah. If the money has gone overseas, it's essentially gone. We really can't get it back from abroad. And the hard part, too, with your personal data is once that's out there, you can't ever really get it back. Once it's circulating on the dark web or other places, you'll have to monitor that until the information changes or just for the rest of your life. So not getting victimized is extremely important in these fact patterns. We would also say, though, that sometimes we have been able to stop them. We've been able to figure out where they were operating from and take some type of an enforcement action to stop them from doing it in the future. Sometimes that involves coordinating with out-of-state law enforcement agencies as well, because oftentimes these are operated centrally from some place and then they just happen to target Utahns as well.
I want to go back to the methods they use, because obviously there's got to be something in it for the scammer to even go through with this. There's got to be some motivating factor for them. So you're saying you've heard from people, they've sat through what they think are real interviews. Are these mainly like on Zoom, on the phone, or even in person, perhaps?
They're almost always going to be done through digital means.
Okay.
The work to have a person there in person that you show
They're
up
not going to show their face.
No, they would like to avoid that.
Yeah.
So usually it would be online. It'll be a Zoom type call.
Yeah.
But sometimes with the use of AI, they're able to fabricate something that looks like a person but is not. So I would say use a lot of caution with any type of an online posting where the entire interview process is online, unless it's a company that you're deeply familiar with and you know that you are dealing with that company in fact.
Well, your job's getting more complicated because of AI, that type of thing.
Very much so.
Yeah.
We see it all the time. Old telltales that we used to look at, like misspellings in text messages or scam emails, AI is fixing most of those now, so that's something you can't really do. It's also able to create websites that look like the real deal but are not. There's just a slight URL change, and the AI has copied someone else's website for a nefarious purpose. So it's getting tough out there. So people just need to be aware that AI makes it much, much easier to perpetrate almost any scam, even the old ones.
And as Ron said before our interview, I mean, every facet of our lives, there's always a scam potential. And now we're seeing it with job posting, or
yes.
I guess we're talking about it. These have been around for a little while, maybe.
They have been. This is not new. Utah has a law called the Business Opportunity Disclosures Act that we enforce fairly aggressively, where people will want you to come and work for them, and they charge you a bunch of money, but there's not really a business there. So this is an old story, but it's being facilitated by new technological means.
Okay, well, I guess the bottom line here is you just have to double check, triple check, or whatever. Make calls yourself to find out the legitimacy of a business.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Always double check for yourself, and we really encourage people, speak to a trusted loved one or someone who has an outside perspective. They can help you realize if you're being taken advantage of where you're too close to it.
Okay, Blake Young with the Division of Consumer Protection. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Valuable info.
Yeah, so great info that we need to know. Thanks so much.